All right, welcome back to game number 2 of the winners group here in Group C of our group stages. Spec taking game 1 after Primorix early aggression with lots of lings from a 10 pool, as well as all of his drones was held. Spec here, the red Zerg, is spawning up in the top left of Belshir, whereas a little friendly banter here between the players, where we have our blue Zerg player, Primorix, also from Infinity Gaming, trying desperately to figure out a way to knock Spec back one game in this series. We have a Primorix.
Yeah, so already we can see no early aggression. It might be a more standard game, which this map has been in the ladder pool for a long time, so people generally play more standard on maps that they're more comfortable on.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no pools for either player yet. Both players choosing to drone up to probably 15 being the magic number before deciding what course of action they're going to take. Primorix moving down, looking to take his natural expansion here, whereas Spec opts to go pool first instead.
Yeah, this is the best thing for him after seeing how Yang opened up last game. Primorix is just going to be super greedy this game. And I mean, this is basically another type of cheese because he's relying on no early aggression from Yang, which is definitely a good call in this situation.
Yeah, I think good adjustment here, and I think hatch first, sort of more greedy builds are what Primorix is usually more used to. I was a bit surprised to see that intense of a cheese coming out of him in game 1, but you know, he's a dangerous player, and he's obviously very talented, so he's got lots of tricks up his sleeve. I'm interested to see what he moves into from this hatch first.
Just from the looks of it, it's probably just going to be a delayed speedling safe build, maybe with 3 queens. I don't think he's going to do anything cheesy, and if he just defends all of Yang's aggression, he's going to definitely have an economic advantage in the mid game.
Yep, hatchery now just going down at Spec's natural, where as Primorix's hatch is just completing, Spec's hatchery is only about a quarter of the way done now, so Primorix is going to be able to take a bit of an economic lead here early game. And Spine going down.
So defensive. So safe.
Yeah, this is the Primorix I am more used to seeing. Very safe, very defensive, and I think my prediction here is he's gonna try to play safe here, get his 2 bases up, get a good economy going, and transition to mutas here. Baneling Nest going down for Spec right now as he's working on getting his queens up and finishing out this expansion. Speed now about to finish for Spec, along with the Baneling Nest. Timing's going to be about exactly on time here. So Spec going to have both speed and the ability to morph in Banelings. Primorix obviously a little bit further behind. He is supply capped for the moment as Spec managed to pick off one of his overlords, but has a delayed Baneling Nest and speed on the way as well. But Spec not looking like he's going to be too aggressive at the moment, just by the number of lings and banelings he has on the field. So it looks like the delay for Primorix is not going to be too much of a problem on that tech.
Yeah, actually, I think Yang is going to get very aggressive in a couple of minutes. He's starting +1 Carapace, which usually is designed to hit a pre-muta timing, in that you morph like 10 or 11 banelings before their spire finishes, and all they have are just a couple banelings and maybe a spine crawler or 2. But your lings don't die to their banelings, so it's definitely a strong timing to kill muta players.
Yep, this is that's exactly what he's doing. This is the build Spec taught me last, so I'm pretty familiar with it. And so we'll look for, as soon as this carapace upgrade is almost done, yeah, we can see 16 lings in production and a couple of spines just so he's safe from counterattacks back home. Spec's going to move out into this. So this timing definitely going to hit before Primorix has any chance to get Mutas out. Muta's typically not ready for another 2.5, 3 minutes here.
Well, he might not even be going Mutas. His gases are so delayed. I don't even think he can afford a Spire yet. And Yang, who should have hit his +1 Carapace timing, got 2 Spine Crawlers because he saw a lot of lings from Primorix. So his own timing is going to be delayed as well. And I'm not really sure how this game is going to progress.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice to just fully saturate this main base with minerals before taking either of these geysers. Usually in a rush to Muta type build, you prioritize getting this gas a little bit sooner so you can get more Mutas out quicker.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to hit a pre-Muta timing now. He kind of delayed his, he delayed his production because he had the 2 Spine Crawlers building. And, yeah, I think, what's his name? Primorix is going to be perfectly fine to deal with this, as long as he makes a handful of Banelings.
Yeah, Primorix already has 2 Banelings on the map spread out here. He's got lings, so the potential to make quite a few more Banelings. Just needs to be careful he doesn't lose them to little tiny ling pokes here. One going down there. Carapace able to protect those lings from all dying during that 1 Baneling explosion.
Yeah, if you look at the income, Primorix has been up by over 10 drones for the past 2 or 3 minutes. So if Yang doesn't do damage here, he's definitely going to be behind. I mean, the mineral income is similar, but the gas income is almost tripled.
Yep. Spec's still on 1 geyser.
This actually isn't looking very good for Spec, in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks like Primorix is getting rolling here. Spire now completed, and we have 5 Mutalisks on the way. Does it look like Spec is ready to deal with Mutalisks just yet?
I mean, definitely not. He's got a few queens, but his army that he's moving out with has no anti-air, so it's just going to get all cleaned up by Mutas, in my opinion.
Yep. Mutas are going to have to hang around back at home if all this pushes out, but most of the Spec's army is still fighting for this natural here, or 3rd rather. Banelings rallied into the worker line. Primorix splits his workers, able to save about half of them. Good control there to avoid something that could have been completely disastrous and make it only slightly disastrous. I'd like to see Primorix add a couple of Evos here up front to maybe try to wall this off a little bit so those Baneling attacks aren't quite so effective.
I think he's fine. He's got Mutas out to a Zerg who doesn't even have a lair. I don't really see what Yang is doing this game. Not even playing with his trademark 200 APM. He's only at he's actually at less APM than Primorix. So I think he might just be, relaxing, not really trying his best here.
Yeah, looks like Spec does manage to snipe Primorix's 3rd, but Primorix with 10 Mutas on the field now is gonna start being a little bit dangerous with that air composition. 4 crawlers now finally going down in Spec's base. No 3rd for either player yet. Mutas moving across, lots of queens there to meet the Mutas. These Mutas need to pull back as Transfuse is not going to let them make any headway on this. Mutas are getting drawn back by the queens. Meanwhile, at the front of Primorix's base, Banelings are moving in along with some Zerglings. Primorix morphing in Banelings of his own, not quite ready yet. Caught a little bit out of position here. Looks like 1 good Baneling connect there. All of Primorix Banelings now finally finished morphing. The lings in his base looking to be mopped up very shortly.
Oh wow, I don't even know what happened to his Mutas, but he only has 6 of them and he had 14 like a minute ago.
Yeah,
I think he might have tried attacking
his
the
Mutas
queens.
got caught up in the queens by accident. They were rallied back to the base, and I think the queens hit them, so they moved back and started attacking the queens.
That's really bad. I mean, that was his whole advantage, was his mutas. He really shouldn't have lost them.
Yep, Primorix looking like he's a little bit distracted here. Ling's not quite reacting to this threat in the mineral line of his natural right now. Losing a lot of drones here. This is something that he definitely could have prevented with a little bit more control.
Yeah,
Ling's
I think he lost
also
like every drone in his main. Oh wow.